It's painful to say goodbye.
It's hard to say I miss you.
The time of love
Is a gruesome cruise.
I need you now, dear Lord.
When tears are hidden for a long time, they will erupt like a volcano, causing pain to an African woman. This is the show, Painful Goodbyes, and today I have my sister Samu. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for this. Thank you for having me.
Thank you, you're welcome. And our show today, we are looking at hidden tears of an African woman. And who is Samu? Maybe you can help us know.
Okay, I am Samukeliso, as you have said. I'm a mother of three. I have three children. They're now adults. My last born is over 22 years. I have a grandson. I have a son-in-law. Samu is someone who loves life. I love people. I love exciting moments. I love to appreciate people. I'm somebody who's always, I find myself wanting to help people. If someone is not happy, I want to know why. If there's something that I can do, I wish to do it. My only weakness is sometimes I overdo it.
All right.
I love and love and love and overdo it.
All right. So now growing up, what were your career dreams?
Growing up, like I've always seen myself like someone who's sort of on top of the world. People will be listening to me. I'll be saying something that people are listening to, that will be interesting people. That's who I was always imagining myself. But also that factor of being a helper, always.
Okay.
I've always wished I had everything to help everyone that I come along.
Earlier on, we spoke about being a social worker. Where was that coming from?
I think that was born out of that spirit of helping, that spirit of loving people, that spirit of always wanting to share exciting moments with people. So I think that's where this thing was coming from. Yeah.
Growing up as a child, I think you must have had your fondest memories. And what are those, your most beautiful moments?
My most beautiful moments is just like playing as a child. I remember we play outside when the moon is bright. We play a lot of games. The other thing, as a child, I was like a hyperactive child who was very clever. So each time my parents wanted something done quickly, I was the first one to be picked. Run and go to the store. I want you to come back just now. I'll just run. Go and sell. I mean, after school, I'll sell vegetables, I'll sell salt. Go and sell. I come back with an empty dish, and my mother praises me. I'm so excited. I'm somebody who grew up like always looking forward to be like praised, sort of validated. I think.
So always you wanted some affirmation after you've done some work.
I think I got used to that because I was always doing so well, so good. Even I could do even things that my age couldn't do. I could do them, and I'll be praised for that. So, yeah.
Beautiful. It is good to hear about Samu's life when she was a child. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the second segment of the show, Painful Goodbyes. In my hands, I've got a very beautiful book, The Hidden Tears of an African Woman. At the book of this book, there is a question that really blew my mind. You said, did you know that an average African woman dies at 25 only to be buried at 75? You know why? I'm wondering what's the story behind this book. What really motivated you to write this book? What's the story? Let's get to the story.
The story behind the book. No, I looked at the life of an African woman. I looked at the lives of promising lives of young girls who be doing so well. They get into marriage. They sort of like, I don't know what happens to us as women. Maybe when we get married, we think that's the end of it. I got it. I finally got there. And they sort of like forget about every dream that they had. Sometimes they don't forget, but the circumstances. Here I am, I was a young woman as Samu. Here I am, I'm now the mother of so and so. Everyone is saying Nabani, that's it. Here I am, I'm someone's wife, I have to live up to that. Here I'm someone's wife, I have to live up to that into the world around. Even if I can inside, what I live inside might be different from outside. So for someone to balance all those things, they sort of, the pressure becomes so much, such that most of the times we forget who we are. We are busy about everybody else. In this new environment that we got into, we have forgotten about ourselves. We have forgotten about our dreams. It's now what other people expect in the environment that I've come in. What do my in-laws expect? What do my parents expect me to do since I'm now Mrs. Someone?
So now that should be coming from a certain place. Maybe let's backtrack and go back to your childhood. There is hidden tears. You hid some catastrophic event that happened in your life. Let's talk about that event.
Like I said before, I'm somebody who loves life. I love to share exciting moments. That doesn't take any strength from me. I just do it flawlessly. But when it comes to things that are painful in me, I'm so secretive. It takes me my whole strength to start to share about what's troubling me. I always think maybe people will judge me, and being the person who's always like hyperactive, who's always like laughing, and I'll be thinking maybe sometimes people won't believe me. And as a child, like I said, I'm somebody who's hyperactive. I was very hyperactive. I used to say anything that came to my mind, anything that I saw, I used to talk about it. But this is when I used to be ukuzwa. Ulamawala. Don't say that.
Don't say that, yes.
I think when I look back, that could have affected me. So that I became someone who's like, if this is secretive, if I say it, someone will say it in Lamawala, someone will say it in Lamanga, things like that. So I started to hide those things. I just wanted to be this someone who's a busybody, who can help, who can make people laugh and all.
Right now, what I'm actually seeing, that thing is coming up because there's something that happened at 8, and it's in your book. And right now you are hiding it. Maybe let's talk about it. Yes, let's talk about it.
it's not always easy to talk about it. Yeah, I was violated by someone who was very close to me, a family member. I think at that age, because of our relationship, I don't even know how was I taking it. Is it wrong? Is it right? What's happening? I couldn't understand much, but I was only depending on what he said. Yeah, I thought, it was okay. So being, like I talked about, being reprimanded. So I thought, how do I share this? How do I? But what I saw is, as a child, I think the only person who realized something has happened was my mother. But even if she saw it, she didn't ask me questions. What happened? Who did this? Which means maybe to her it was obvious. I don't know.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I don't understand sometimes our society. I've always, I was always waiting and thinking that maybe as I grow, someday, she will sit down and talk about it. But that never happened.
The tears were hidden.
It never happened. And I don't know why I couldn't even gather the strength to sit her down and ask her. You know, the way we grew up, it's unlike our children. Our children now can, if they don't understand something, they can ask you, simple ask you. But during our time, it wasn't that easy unless a parent talks to you. But it was as if that thing is forgotten. I have forgotten it, sort of. It's there in my mind, but it comes at times. But there was a time when I tried to talk about it with a family. Then I started to say, I want actually to ask more from other family members to say, is this what is done in this family? I want to know. And everybody went like quiet, such that that thing just died there. I was expecting whoever was there, the whole family, somebody was going to ask, what are you talking about? Say it, let's hear about it. But everybody went like, sort of, I think that meeting ended when I tried to go to talk about that. And that was it. Then it was when I grew up at a later stage. This is when I shared with my brother. Growing up, I'm very close to my eldest brother. It's because growing up, mostly we stayed a longer time together as siblings. He's one of the siblings that I stayed longer with. We stayed together for a long time, so we are very close, such that anything that's not okay in my heart, I always discuss it with my brother. So he's the person that I told with my brother, this happened. It happened there, it happened there, it happened there. And then I think he told my aunt. It was just, they were just surprised and quiet. It went quiet again like that. So life continued.
So what I seem to be hearing here is you had something that was happening, that happened, I mean, you had pain that you couldn't share because you had been violated. And what did that do to you?
Oh, it was, sometimes it was very heavy. to see someone who wronged you to always look like right. You know, I guess it's the behavior of those people who violate people. Like they always pretend like they are the best people, and they want to paint you like you are the bad person. Because I remember he would like tell people, at times shout at me, tell people this child doesn't listen, this and she's like what, and so that I look so bad. But in my heart, I knew, but this person, but being a child, this person is an adult. You can't say anything.
But you had tears that were coming out.
Yes, I had tears. And I really thank God. God is a God who knows the end from the beginning. I always look back and thank God. God found me at an early age, because my only solace at that time, it was just to tell God, to pray, to cry before God. Then I would simply feel better.
And at the same time, the society was saying, no, that cannot be talked about.
Yes, I thought if my mother discovered it, if I have told this, sometime they will do something. If they don't do it, they're not doing anything, it shows that this thing should just be left alone as it is.
Now, transitioning into your married life, this experience must have affected the way you dealt with the challenges that came in your marriage. Maybe let's talk about that.
Yes, it did. When I look back, the decisions that I should have made early in my marriage, but I didn't make those decisions. The things that I shouldn't have done, but I did them because I thought, when I was getting married, I was told, you are married to this family, everything that happens to you, you are being, whatever you are told about this family, that's what you do. Everything that happens here is for here. You don't have to be taking things from this family and bringing to us, blah, blah, things like that. Yeah, emendweni kuyaqiniselwa mntanami, uyahlala ngaphansi, uyafaka izipho uhlale phezu kwazo, things like that. So I thought, when I was seeing things that were normally happening, I was thinking, that's the marriage of it. So I have to brace up, forget about forgive and go on. That's what I thought. And for a long time, I was keeping everything. Plus, I realized if you are violated at a young age, whatever happens in your life, whoever you come across, if they're not treating you well, or if they do anything that you don't like, somehow in the back of your mind you think, anyway, I deserve it, really. No, this is okay for me, because you were violated. No one took care of you. No one got worried about that violation. And everyone who violates you on the way, you think, maybe it's who I am. It's okay. And then you just brush it aside and move on.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing this dearest part of the story. Please stay tuned as we wait for the third and final segment. Welcome back to the third and final segment of the show, Painful Goodbyes. I'm with Sister Samu, and we're talking about hidden tears, and we heard her story in the second segment. And I'm wondering what lessons you learned as you were going through this pain in your marriage and also in your childhood. What lessons did you learn?
I've learned that perhaps as parents, we should have maybe two jackets,
Okay.
being a parent and a friend to your children.
Okay.
Always be close to your children. Discuss with them those simple things that are on the way of growing up. Like, it's not bad as a parent to discuss their love life, advise them.
Okay.
It's good. That's what I've learned.
Okay.
And I also learned that if you are going through any challenge, always seek for help. If those who are close to you can't help you, go ahead and try the next level wherever you can get help. And I've learned that keeping such things that are troubling you just inside without discussing them, without sharing them, it actually destroys you. Actually, it makes you to end up being toxic to the people around you. Sometimes you have a certain behavior or a certain reaction, like people don't understand, but it's that thing inside that you haven't shared. These people around you, they don't even know, but you have this thing that's troubling you inside. At the end of the day, you are wounding almost everybody around you. So always seek for help. Number two, it is good to sort yourself out before you go to the next level.
Okay. Okay.
Sort yourself out. If you have something, sort it out before you can get to the next level, or before you can share your life with the next person.
Okay.
The other thing,
So here, it's so maybe the childhood issues, the trauma that you had, you needed to sort it out before you got married. This is what I'm kind of hearing.
yes, that's what I'm saying. That could have been the best thing to do. You know, esintwini sithi ichaye isachisa insimbi. You don't have to wait, because if it goes cold, it can take the other shape. It would have hardened. Yeah, sometimes things don't go right or the best way if you delay to sort those things out. And the other thing, like I said, you have to sort yourself out. I would say to the girls out there, please take time to find out who you are. Get to know yourself before you commit yourself to the next person. Know what you want. Don't just go about like the wind. Everyone is doing this, everyone is doing this, people are expecting this from me. Do what satisfies you according to who you are. And take your time to grow. There's no hurry to marriage. Guys are there at high school. You find them at university or college. You find them at work. You find them as you get to the other societies. So there's no rush. Don't rush. Take your time and grow and understand yourself and enjoy yourself.
Okay, okay. So what were your support systems?
Oh, my support systems. Mostly I think it has been God, my Bible, music, and of course, it's something that I learned as I was going through this, that you should seek for knowledge everywhere. Try to read mostly about, look for stories for other people who have gone through something that's closer to yours or somewhere. As you get to know their stories, get to know how did they come out or how did they deal with them, it also relieves you to know that you are not alone. Because as you keep this inside of you, your mind is telling you, I am the only one who's suffering here. But as you get to find this one, it happened to this one, this is what she did, this is what she... You are relieved to realize, I'm not alone. If this person made it, I can also make it somehow. It really helps. So that was my support system. I started to Google, get to know about other people who were violated as children, other people who have gone through rough marriages. I got to know that. I started reading a lot of books. There was a time, I think my life changed when at that time when I told myself, I'm going to invest in books. I started reading a lot of books.
And writing.
I've only written one. And I started reading a lot of books. You'd find that sometimes I'll be having a hard copy. I'll be having another book as a soft copy. So I'll read this one and read this one. So that really helps. It helps.
Thank you very much for sharing your story. For me, Skumbuzo Duve and Samu, the crew behind the scenes, it's a wrap.